still go. Go, 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 yo.
Hey guys, what's crack-a-lack, and we're back at it again for the SR build. But today, while I'm waiting for parts and money to come in, I'm going to be disassembling the engine bay. So, not disassembling, but getting shit out of the way. Unplugging the loom, just mainly getting things out of the way, basically. And that's gonna allow me to paint it. So what I'm gonna do is remove all the bits and pieces and what I can't, well, I'll tape up, and then I'll do some prep work and then get ready for paint. Because I want this to look as good as possible. My only concern about this whole engine bay, which is pretty good, is this bit of rust here. So I'm going to pull off this fender and have a squiz at that, because I don't want any rust, and there's a bit of rust underneath here. Pardon me. It's actually a fair bit. So I need to get under there, I need to fix that rust before I paint anything. So I'm going to get this area clear, this fender off, and have a really good look at what's underneath there. So just mainly prep work that's going on here. Along with this side, the engine loom, the fuse loom was damaged by the tire. So I need to pull this fender off as well. So it's going to look really gutless, really weird, but that's just where I'm at this point. The headlight's going to come out, everything's just going to come out. I'm even thinking about putting a new front brace in, just buying a new one and welding it in. But that's where I'm at right now. So I'll get to it.
Slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 feel low, y'all still go. Go, go, slow, y'all still go. Go, there's no hope, y'all still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Back another day working on the Silvia. Got an early knock from work today, which has made my mood extremely great. But I picked up some new things from the superstore, and this is what we have. Now this is a couple of things, not just put the camera there. This is a couple of things not just for the Silvia build, but also to make it look nice. We've got some metal brushes that is for the engine bay to remove some rust. We've got some, this is all painting stuff. This was for the cleaning of the engine. I've got some little bits and pieces to do for that. I'll leave that there. And we have the primer, the clear coat, and the, what is this? Wax and oil remover for the rocker cover, because I'm going to be painting that and a couple of other things. So put that on the paint shelf there. Yes, I've got a couple of things to do. Got the rust converter, paint stripper in here. I really need the rust converter, so I've got all my tools here. So this is going to be another project probably tomorrow, as I have the day off tomorrow as well on a Friday. So loving life right now. But yes, rust converter, that can also actually go on the shelf. As you can see, the engine here is way cleaner than when I first pulled it out, but I've still got some more to do. I think I'm going to wire brush some of this corrosion off and then clean up these last little bits, but it's looking pretty good. I haven't really bothered with the head, as you can see, it's still pretty bad. So when I pull the rocker cover off, I might get into there, or I might flip it upside down and see what drains out of it still. But we're back onto the engine bay today. Pardon me. Because there was conveniently, see this little indent here? There was a bolt sitting in there that is just rusted and left in a pile of rust, so we can't have that. Got this rust along the line here, and then we're going to take this fender off today and have a look at how bad this rust underneath here is. It's a lot to do. I need to get my head torch out and things to get started. But before, I forgot to mention, before I do that rust, I'm going to clean all this area that was underneath the plastic cover because it's a bit dirty. So we're going to clean that first, and then I can get to that side, and then I'll do that because I don't like looking at the dirt. Also, another quick tip, don't use these fucking things. They're pieces of shit, and you're not cool for having them in your engine bay or on your fenders. They are fucking stupid. Stop! Oh. Jesus Christ! That fucking worked! Anyway, so here's the rust on this fender here. Put that light out of the way. As you can see, I've grinded it down. I put some wax remover and grease remover on it, and then I'm going under here and I'm doing that part. On the side of the fender here, it's not too bad. I think I'm just gonna put rust converter on it and see what happens. Sorry, the camera's on the right angle. Because it's pretty good condition down there. It's just, you know, the basic surface rust. It's not going to get any worse. This was actually underneath the paint, as you can see. It kind of veered off that way. So we're going to do underneath there, and then I'm just going to do a big search for any more rust because I'm doing all the rust removal right now. So I'll get back to it. I don't know if you can hear me over the fan that's blowing in my way. It's super hot today, but all the rust converter is on in certain places. If you can see the shine and underneath here. So we're gonna wait for it to do its job, see how well it does. I might have to do another round under there especially. Other than that, we're just playing the waiting game now, and I'm gonna start removing some more bits and pieces in here so I can get around and make it look pretty. Alright, so here is where I'm at now. As you can see, I've just done a strip along here because I could actually see the bare metal across here. That was just the rubbing of the plastic on the metal over time has gotten to it. So I sprayed over this part. I know it looks a bit chunky and a bit shit, but the plastic cover goes over this anyway. I'm just trying to make it look black. I could have just left it in primer if I wanted to. I've got my little test spot here. It's going quite well. This is just the primer. It's completely dry now, so I can touch it. I'll have to spray that now that I've touched it. Still got this piece here to spray and paint, and then under here I still got to spray primer and paint. But this is like the main test piece because well, this is going to be underneath the plastic cover. So it's Friday and I've taken the day off. Well, I've got the day off and we're back at it. That's how the paint turned out. Looks lovely actually, looks really good. Very happy with it. The spot's been protected, this spot's been protected, that spot's been protected. So the goal for today is to take this radiator support off, which means I've got to remove everything off it first. And take this off, what was the other thing? And then to cover that back up, that little section there, because I don't really want to leave this off for too long. It's a bit shit like that anyway. And then remove the rusted snap bolts down there for the fender, and then put the fender back on. So a little bit to do, but nothing crazy. I might take this fender off, pardon me, as well, and see what's underneath there, see if there's any rust that needs to be repaired. And continue cleaning this up because I actually like how this black looks very shiny. I like it, it's quite nice. So I don't know if I'll continue to do that around the whole engine bay and just spray paint everything because it actually looks really nice. So I'm thinking about doing it, not 100% sure yet. First I got to take everything out that I can and clean it up. Alright. As you can see, I've taken off the fender here and I've punched all the spot welds on the radiator support all around underneath and everything. So I'm going to try and drill that out with a kit I just bought from Daytona, wherever I put it, over here. Daytona kit, so you got this piece here, as you can see. Just have to focus on that. But it's got this spring here, as you can see, and that holds on to the spot weld, and these are all double-sided cutting bits. So you can use cutting fluid. I don't think I will need to if I just take it slow. But yeah, this is what we're going to use to remove all the spot welds and take this support off. Now, I think I've changed my mind about spraying the engine bay. I think I am going to do it. I wasn't going to, but now I am, because just look how glossy that looks. That's not even like, there's no effort in that painting pretty much at all. Up there is going to be covered, so I didn't really care. Here I tried to keep it as nice as possible, but I can remove everything, I can tape everything up, I can do my best to make it look as shiny and as good as possible, and I can redo this hole, make it look circle, because this is just doesn't look the best anyway. I've got some pinch weld I could put on that. So that's the plan. I'm going to drill this out first so I can just get easy access to everything. So here we go. Okay, so a little update here. Things are actually going quite well. As you can see, I had some troubles at first. It kind of just went everywhere, but that is all off, and it's kept those little spot welds in there. Even along the bottom here, I see it just got, so it got really bad, and then it just got better and better and better, and then it got bad again, but we won't talk about that. But yeah, both these top sides are done. Now this one actually jumped off once I finished this last one down here. So as you can see these holes? Now that I can't push it up. So that's where it's in. That's where it should be sitting. So it kind of bounced off. But we have to remove these two bolts here so I can get into these ones. But yeah, it's not too hard of a process. I will have to pull everything off this. I'm just doing all these spot welds first, and yeah. And a little tip, there is a couple bolts under here somewhere, them two. You have to pull those off to get this whole thing up, otherwise it's not going to move at all. So I did that first. I wasn't too worried, because as I'm drilling everything, I like to see that it's popped out and moved and progress basically. So actually, I'm going to explain. I have the camera on that table, so every time I walk over here, that's where I come from. But anyway, so we have it off. It's as you can see by the lines, it's off its I don't know what it's called. Off its spot welds. As you can see, one of the spot welds is there. Now I'm just going to pull everything off it before I actually pull off this rail itself. But I'm going to take a couple of pictures where everything is, take some bolts off, and do, you know, just the normal stuff to get everything ready. But yeah, this side's completely off and ready to go. Now I took measurements here from rail to rail, and another measurement on that side from rail to rail, inside rails, just in case anything moved, bended or changed. So if I need to push it back out, weld the new one in, then it's easy enough to do so. But that's what we're looking at right now. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm actually gonna go home and continue this another day, because I just don't want to touch it right now. And there we go. Have a look at that. The front is off. Looks a little bit weird. I'm just going to keep everything on it for the moment until I get the new one. But anyway, this gives me a heap more space to get in there, start cleaning up and removing shit. And also I have a brand new one of those that it's going to also be painted black. And I'm going to paint the engine bay black. But first we've got to remove everything, clean everything up. Oh, it's going to be a long process, sorry. But it's going to look sick. And yes, I'm using a light because it's a little bit dark here. It's only lunchtime, so the sun's facing right down. But yeah, that's the front off. Now I think I'm gonna stop the video here, and I'm gonna say that's it for the video. And like and subscribe. There's more to come, obviously. I'm only gonna do this in small parts so they're nice and watchable. But yeah, now I get to start the fun shit.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like